Revelation chapter 12 presents a dramatic narrative filled with symbolic imagery that explores themes of conflict, salvation, and divine providence within the cosmic struggle between good and evil. This chapter introduces three central figures: a woman clothed with the sun, a great red dragon, and a male child. Through these symbols, the chapter conveys profound theological insights into the nature of God's kingdom, the reality of spiritual warfare, and the assurance of God's ultimate victory over evil. The woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head, symbolizes God's people, often interpreted as Israel or the Church, and embodies the themes of promise and fulfillment found throughout salvation history. Her labor pains and the birth of a male child who is to rule all the nations with a rod of iron, Revelation 12 verse 5, evoke imagery from messianic prophecies, pointing to Jesus Christ as the fulfillment of God's redemptive plan. The child's ascension to God's throne immediately following his birth signifies Christ's resurrection and ascension, underscoring the centrality of Jesus' victory over death and his established authority over all creation. The great red dragon, identified as Satan, symbolizes the forces of evil and opposition to God's purposes. The dragon's attempt to devour the male child at birth and its subsequent war against the woman and her offspring represent the ongoing conflict between evil and the people of God. This imagery reflects the spiritual warfare that permeates human history, highlighting Satan's efforts to thwart God's plan and the persecution faced by believers. The narrative also describes a heavenly battle between Michael and his angels against the dragon, resulting in the dragon's defeat and expulsion from heaven. This victory proclaims the triumph of God's kingdom over the forces of evil, emphasizing the power of divine authority and the futility of rebellion against God. The proclamation that follows, celebrating the salvation, power, and kingdom of God and the authority of his Christ, Revelation 12 verse 10, affirms the decisive nature of this victory and its implications for the cosmic struggle between good and evil. Despite its defeat, the dragon continues to pursue the woman, who is given 2 wings of a great eagle to escape into the wilderness, where she is nourished and protected by God. This segment of the narrative symbolizes God's providential care for his people amidst persecution and the trials of the present age. Theological significance is found in the assurance that, despite the reality of suffering and evil, God's people are sustained and protected by his power and grace. In summary, Revelation chapter 12 offers a vivid depiction of the cosmic conflict between God and Satan, weaving together themes of birth, conflict, victory, and divine protection. The chapter provides theological insights into the nature of Christ's reign, the reality of spiritual warfare, and the faithfulness of God's promises to his people. Through its symbolic imagery, Revelation 12 encourages believers to remain steadfast in faith, assured of God's ultimate victory over evil and the fulfillment of his redemptive purposes for creation.